Before I give you all an update on our cabin build, I wanted to take you back to the beginning. For those of you who may be new here, I'm Emily. That guy right there is my boyfriend Keenan, and we've been building an off-grid D-style log cabin since 2022. So let's get you caught up. We met back in high school but reconnected in June of 2019 on our first date to Bear Brook for some fishing. The rest is history. 2020 came faster than anyone wanted it to. I've now been working in the veterinary field for 5 years, and Keenan has been off-grid running a family campground for 4. And then COVID happened. And crazy enough, this opened the door for me to move north with Keenan and work for the North Maine Woods Incorporation. 2022 was when the ball got rolling, but slowly. COVID made camping the most popular thing to do, so we were busy, but were able to make the floor happen. We wanted to finish the cabin in 2023. We just had to hunker down and get things done. "2023 was exciting. We were milling and stacking logs, and were able to get a load of logs dropped off at the Wood Miser to fast forward our progress. These logs would finish the walls of our cabin. October of 2023 was really when things got rolling. We were able to set up a weekend for my uncle to come up and help Keenan get started on the walls. My uncle has built these cabins before, so it really helped Keenan have some guidance in knowing how to get started so that he could finish the whole way through. We did all we could until snow finally hit the ground, and then we had to put everything on pause. This is what the cabin looked like when we ended out the 2023 year. We tried our hardest to cover what we could just to try to protect the flooring. It was a battle, but it was something. When the snow melted in 2024, we were ready to get going again. Being cooped up all winter, knowing that we had so much more to do with this home and that we just wanted to be living in it was torture. Keenan was able to start putting every bit of time he had into the home. He started stacking more logs, and everything really started to take shape.
I mean, you only need 2 of them, right?
Living so far away, my parents so badly wanted to come up and help us. So we decided to plan a weekend of it where a lot of the family came up to help. But as everyone was getting to work, something crazy happened. It started torrential downpouring for a day and a half. I will forever believe that this was a gift from God with what came next in our journey. At this point in my mind, my brain's like so messed up and so out of focus. Everything's just so crazy to me, I can't even process it. Just hours after my family left from our weekend trying to get work done on this cabin that was cut short from a lot of rain, we decided it was in our best interest to leave where we were building our home. And because we have such a phenomenal family who supports us, we were able to get our ducks moved and temporarily put down at my parents' house. We were able to haul our camper down that we've been living in for 3 years while building this home and sell it. And the question that's been asked for a year and a half now is why? Why did you decide to leave? And the only thing I can say to answer that question is this. At some point in life, you have to choose your own happiness and put yourself first. And narcissistic people will always get the karma that they deserve. As long as you're a good person in this life, God will always put you first and keep you going in the direction that you need to go in. And so with good karma on our side, we were able to find a piece of land that we really liked in a great location. And we sold our camper in the late summer. With that money, we were able to put the down payment we needed on this piece of land, went to the lawyer's office, signed all the paperwork, and just like that, we were property owners. Not even 24 hours after purchasing this land, we were already working on it and preparing for the crazy thing that we were going to do next. But before we could completely move our whole log cabin that we've been building, we needed a good driveway and a spot to place the log home. So where you're sitting right now is basically where our front porch will be. So this is the parking spot for my truck, maybe a little bit closer. So the house will sit kind of right smack dab in the middle. If anything, we may move it over a little bit to the right. So when you're coming out of the front of the house and you turn, so right here is gonna be our path right by this rock down to where our ducks will be. So I just kind of want to give you a vision of what I'm thinking for that. So right here is where we're gonna put the duck barn. So my truck's right there. Duck barn here, and then fencing is gonna go all around this cedar bogginess area. And then the day finally came for us to prepare the cabin to have it moved. Again, luckily we have a tribe around us that's willing to help in this crazy plan that we had. But as I've said before, and I'll say it again, either this log cabin was coming with us with all the work and money and effort that we put into it, or I was going to burn it to the ground. I'm not gonna lie, watching this process happen made me absolutely sick to my stomach every second of the day. The amount of stress, lack of sleep, and unknown that Keenan and I had for a good 5 to 6 months during this time was astronomical. But at the end of the day, we did it. In Keenan and Emily fashion, we tried our hardest to lighten the mood the best that we could in tough times like this. So one of our most popular sayings was, "Never did I think I'd build a home, cut it all up, move it, and rebuild it in our lifetime." The other one is, the Guinness Book of World Records probably should have been with us for this. And after 3 days and traveling 576 miles in total, our home was on our property. Keenan was able to get right to work putting the log cabin back together. But because of having to cut the cabin in half lengthwise with a chainsaw and widthwise with a chainsaw, we lost 1/8 of an inch both ways. And because of that, we had to cut 1/8 of an inch off of our floor joists, which took a little bit of time. There was so many small signs that we realized while taking this cabin apart that it wasn't meant to be where it was. For instance, Keenan put all of the flooring down with screws, and he did not do any liquid nail. So everything was extremely easy to take apart. But now putting it back together, we decided to use the liquid nail, make it a little bit more permanent.
Sorry I didn't film reassembling this wall. Filled in the bottom. And this was the heaviest piece. that top 16 back in place. Ties the walls together real well, full 16. I get 2 more logs to put for that top tier, and then onto the back.
Within a week's time of moving the cabin and rebuilding it to put it back to where we had it, we were already moving on with more progress than where we were before, which was putting the roof on. Once all the rafters were up, Keenan got right to work on the gable ends. And I have to say, this was my favorite part of watching this house be built. It really made the cabin come to life. "2025 was the year that we'd move into this cabin, whether we liked it or not. As soon as early spring came, we decided it would be fun to spend a couple nights in the cabin camping out. The easiest way to do this was to set up our pop-up shack so that we could stay warm as the temperatures were still very low at night. Waking up in the cabin for the first time ever on our new property felt like we accomplished everything in the world. The feeling of drinking our coffee on the steps and seeing Mav run around and play, it was such a moment of peace for only a second until we had to snap back to reality. Keenan's friend scored us this whole counter set for free to use temporarily until we knew what we were going to be doing with our kitchen area, and this was certainly a blessing. So when we originally got this property, we decided that we were going to put the ducks somewhere specific, and it ended up being right here, where we now realize fills with water, which ducks love. So we've now decided that we'll be putting them right in this area here, or maybe here. All this here, we're gonna get dirt, level it out, and then the run will be able to go down. And if this does recede and dry out, which we think it's going to, because it was dry when we got it in July, when we came and looked at the property, completely dry. So our plan is, when it does dry out, to dig a pond out for them, and then if it floods, it floods, and then when it goes down, hopefully it will hold the water in that pond. But for right now, the ducks will love every bit of this, which extends all the way down, and then extends all the way down there. Keenan and I really started resourcing all that we could just to save as much money as possible. Buying property was definitely not in the budget, along with all of the extra fee-fi-fo fums that come with putting a home on property. So as Keenan was working jobs as a carpenter, he was able to take any material that was going to be thrown away. And so we were able to get a ton of plywood that would build our chicken coop. We scored some free exterior doors that we could use until we knew what we wanted for permanent doors. And I've always dreamed of having black windows, but it just was not in the budget for us. So I went ahead and painted them. My original plans for this before anything was that I wanted black windows, but I did not want to pay the price for black windows. So before you guys just run to that freaking comment section and just try to rip me a new one for painting windows, You're not gonna change my mind. I know you're technically non-zimmer. I don't care. I want black windows. I'm gonna have black windows. With traveling, so I painted the windows down at my brother's house, and then we brought the windows up here to be installed, which Keenan's working on today. There's some nicks and whatnot, so I'm gonna work on touching those up.
Man, what's that, Bob? Oh, sorry. Good boy.
Found some freaking match set up like a 50-inch bowl.
Oh,
Or she's just on her way back.
Sent a photo though. It's good when she sent the photo.
Yeah. Nice.
That's the other, that looks like the other side. If that's not yesterday's, that's a left.
Yep.
That's
Almost
the new
dead.
one.
That's the match to that one. Yeah. It just has 5 on one side instead of 4, right?
So in the midst of Keenan trying to put the windows in the house, me trying to paint and do stuff at the house, I also can't help but get outside and shed hunt during this time of year because there's no bugs, fresh browns on the ground. I just found this guy yesterday and I set out and was like, we're coming, we're gonna find you. I don't believe we did because where we are right now is ridiculous. Like, in my mind, I'm expecting it to be right in a cut like his other one was yesterday, but no, we found ourselves out back in this random area. I don't know why, but I have the full house song going on. Like Danny Tanner being like, everywhere you look.
Welcome home.
Oh. So today's been such a stressful day that I haven't been able to film much of it. I've done little clips here and there with my phone, but for like reels, so it's vertical. We are on the interstate. I have ducks here. I have ducks in the bed. I have this Gummy Quack Shack. We're doing it. We're more than halfway there, but the interstate, we're going about 60, 50, 60, depending. I just had to pull over and Keenan put more gas in because my light came on. It's not telling me the right miles per hour that I should get until empty. So it just turns on and says that I'm gonna run out of gas. Gonna stop at the next gas station, fill her up, and then we should make it home. How we doing?
What if
Okay, bye. It's gonna be tight. We might have to cut another tree down.
Yeah, get out
did that.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. All right. Come on, guys. Mav, come on. The day we finally brought the flock to their permanent home was a very special day to us. These birds have moved more than most people, and they were finally being introduced to their permanent forever home. And so there you have it. You're all caught up now. There are a couple things that have happened throughout YouTube history, such as building our chicken coop, which you can go watch. I just want to say, all of these videos and clips that you just watched are all complete videos. So if you're interested in watching the full video of something happening, you can go to our cabin building playlist and watch them right there. Now, if you're interested in what's next, that's getting the cabin ready for winter. Putting the metal roofing on, applying the chinking insulation in between the logs, getting a wood stove and piping, splitting wood, and everything that has to do with winter preparation. And so if you're interested in seeing all of that come to life, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll have some more videos out for you in the next couple weeks.